Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel here at YouTube, and of course, welcome to the week, of course, of post 70s Hard and Heavy. While it's definitely still a part of 70s Hard and Heavy month, this is where I just focus on anything that's just post 70s, okay? So just leave it at that. All right, it's better. Wow, it was dark. What a way to start off this video. So, as you can see from the title, it says leftovers all around. That's basically because of some of these albums. When going through my collection, these are some of these I kind of forgot about and was kind of blown away that I did. And of course, some of these I'm also throwing in there on albums that I didn't think were even worthy of being added into there, but they have some stuff to them that do kind of be talked about. So in a way, this is basically to cap off the actual 70s part of 70s Hard and Heavy. So without further ado, I guess we can get into that. However, before I do, I actually want to do something very different, something I've never done before. And what's that? That's, of course, is a drink review. Something normally that metal theologian does. So, and I have something interesting for me, something I've never tried before. That's, of course, is Coca-Cola. I've never seen these around. This, of course, is Georgia peach flavored. I never get this here in town, so this was very interesting that this actually showed up there. So I really want to check this one. Of course, I got raspberry flavored as well. I never see these sort of interesting flavored Coca-Colas. So they definitely make this one interesting, and of course, in I don't know, just in honor of Metal Theologian channel. I don't know, you might have tried this. I don't know. Anyways, I've never, so I'm going to do it. Just don't want to knock over my microphone. This is very interesting. Never did. Can't fall on the floor. Whatever. Alright, I'm going to try this. Holy shit, that's kind of interesting. Wow. I can definitely taste the peach in there. Holy shit. Damn. That is so peach flavored. Holy shit. I don't know if that's artificially flavored or they actually did cut up some actual peach and actually mix it with the coconut flavor and everything. The coconut, whatever. Damn. Not bad, though. I gotta say, that's actually not bad. But again, in order to know if it is, it's got that, and of course, it's got the peach label there. Let me look in here. No artificial flavors. I don't know if it says that if it's okay, so it's made with real cane sugar. Alright, nice. Yeah, that's good. Now I have to try that raspberry one to see how that one tastes. Maybe in the next video here after this one on Wednesday. Alright. I think I've gone into like 4 minutes here, so let's actually get right into it. Alright, so this first album, this is one of those I almost felt like if I really didn't want to because they're not a really hard and heavy band. They're out of Fresno, California, definitely where I was from. That's, of course, is Wrist Rocket. I talked about this one in my 1978 top video. Good album. there is at least one song on here that at least has a real hard sound. I'll get to that. But for the most part, if you like REO Speedwagon, if you like Boston, if you like later Styx, mostly late 70s Styx, who else am I thinking of? Journey from this time period of 1978. If you like those bands, you're probably going to dig this one. But for a lot of the ones that are looking for a real 70s hard and heavy sound, for the most part, you're not going to get it. But there is at least one real hard rock track on this sound. And that's, of course, is Rockin' and Rollin' on side 4. That's the only song on here that's actually really hard and heavy. It's very fast. It's rockin'. It's definitely a real kick-ass hard rocker that you could definitely blare down while blare, loud and everything in your car while you got the windows down and the wind blowing your hair. That's the kind of feel of the track. And that's definitely the song I will sample and spotlight. So with that, definitely not a bad album. It's the only album they ever released. I don't think they ever released after anything. I don't think they ever demoed anything. It was recorded at Sun West Records at 16.16 East Shields, Fresno, California. I know where that is, in a way. But that's where they did it, and I don't think any other band probably recorded there. So with that, their only album they ever released. So with that, hope you dig the track, but I don't think that it's worth going out and finding this copy. I know once in a while this will show up on eBay. Once signed back, I don't know what, 2012 maybe? I can't remember, on like eBay, but I don't know how cheap this record usually is. Usually it's not that expensive. $10 maybe. But at the same time, I don't know if you ever can find this out anywhere else, but Wrist Rocket's only album. So with that, I hope you enjoy the track. So here I'll get into the next album.
Rockin' and rollin' tonight.
So, speaking of Journey, here, of course, I'm going to show a Journey album, and of course, it is their third album and the final album to where Greg Raleigh, their keyboard player, would sing full on pretty much the whole entire album. Journey, definitely not a really hard and heavy band. They were definitely more so, with these first three albums, they were definitely more similar to Santana. Since pretty much both Greg Raleigh and, what's his name? Neil Sean. Blanked out there. Had to relook on the back here. Both them two were from Santana. So, and again, with the first three albums, if you like the early Santana stuff, you're definitely going to like it. It's not completely hard, but there are times where they do push for a bit of that hard and heavy sound. This album, mostly I was saying like side B, the second half of the album really does push for a lot of that 70s hard rock sound. And it's definitely with the song Hustler and Karma. Hustler's a fucking great track off this album. It's got almost a bit of a Uriah Heep Deep Purple feel to it. But still, it's a great, definitely good songs on here that definitely belong in 70s hard and heavy for sure. But for the most part, it's a little more melodic, a lot more laid back. But it's still, it's definitely more hard and heavier, I guess, than Kansas, even though I haven't quite spent much time with Kansas. But that's the kind of feel here. But still, good album. If you definitely want to check out stuff before, I'm forgetting I'm blinking out with that singer's name. But the stuff, like don't stop believing and shit like that. If you want to kind of check that stuff that was before that, this is definitely a good album. So with that, time to get in the samples so I can get into the next record. This video is definitely going to be long, so I hope you enjoy. Alright, this third record here, I can't believe I really didn't give this record enough chances. I would have loved to put this in my UK mid-70s one. Even though it's more on the prog side, but it's still good, as of course is the Baker Gurvitz Army's debut self-titled album. If you don't know what the Baker Gurvitz Army are, it's basically a supergroup of that consists of. Let me find here. Here we go. Adrian and Paul Gurvitz. If you don't know where those two guys were from, they were both from the band The Gun and of course Three Man Army. And of course, Three Man Army, of course, has been talked about quite a bit in the VC, especially when talking about 70s, hard and heavy for sure. And of course, The Gun being the 60s band, definitely early hard rock as well, though almost a psychedelic feel. But the band The Gun were best known for doing the song Race with the Devil, who of course, that song would be covered by both new wave British heavy metal band Girls' School, and of course, legendary British metal band that I did talk about on 70's Hard and Heavy, and of course was Judas Priest. And the third member here is of course his drummer Ginger Baker from of course Cream. They all got together and basically recorded this album. Definitely has that sort of feel you'd get mostly from like The Gun or Three Man Army. Not so much Cream. It's like, it's there, but it's not really much similar to Cream. It's way more similar to Three Man Army. And, of course, The Gun. It's definitely a solid album. It's more on the progressive side. You're going to get that psychedelic moments, but you're also going to get your 70s hard and heavy stuff. And it's definitely there, for sure. Definitely with the song Mad Jack off of side B, which is, while it's basically around almost clocking 8 minutes long, but it has at times a bit of a heavy feel to it. But again, it bounces all everywhere within the sounds. But it definitely, I would say, definitely is worthy of talking about within 70's Hard and Heavy. Great album. Of course, let's also kind of take a little bit of a moment and talk about the artwork. If no one knows who did this artwork and can't tell just by the whole feel of it, it's done by, of course, Joe Pedno. I think that's the way you pronounce his last name. Who, of course, is best known for doing the Snaggletooth mascot for the late Motorhead. Who, of course, I talked about on the 70's Hard and Heavy month. And, of course, did plenty of artwork from Motorhead, of course, and plenty of other bands. But before Motorhead, he did this. And it's definitely a good album for sure. So with that, I'll be playing you a sample, of course, from it, which will be the song Mad Jack. So with that, so I don't keep this video going any further, longer, and everything, I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll be getting to the next record here. So enjoy.
Black, white, and red. That's what I said. He kept his tiger. Black, white, and red.
Alright, fourth record here, and it's after the third and final vinyl record I might show throughout this whole month. And it is a band I definitely do feel like I should talk about as well when it comes to 70's Hard and Heavy, and that's, of course, the debut from the Runaways. And just a good album, definitely. A good debut album, of course. Everyone knows about it, so I'm not going to go on any history with the Runaways. Definitely just a solid 70's hard rock album for sure. And yes, in a way, it is a hard rock album. It definitely, of course, I'm not going to go into completely detail, but it did start, kick off the careers for both Joan Jett and Lita Ford. So with that, not to spend too much time, I will throw on a sample for sure off of this one. It'll be the song Is It Day or Night. Since it's a song, I don't see many people, when they talk about the Runaways, it's definitely one of those songs I don't see a lot of people, like spotlight and everything. I think it's a killer track off this album. Of course, Cherry Bomb and Dead End Justice. Those are definitely good songs. I once said Cherry Bomb was like my least favorite or so, probably because of how many times it was played and everything, but it's definitely not a bad song. But to me, it's the deep cut, like Is It Day or Night, that is definitely up there as one of my favorites from the Runaways. So with that, good album. Hope you enjoy the sample.
White clouds weep and the world does sleep and the dawning of the night.
Alright, fifth and final album here, and definitely one to end off the 70's all around for 70's Hard and Heavy month before I really go in to any post-70's. But this album definitely is kind of, it's like, no one knows, I don't think I've ever heard that anyone about punk being part of 70's Hard and Heavy, because punk was a very more attitude-based and really heavy-based. But this band, while they definitely sat there, that really kick-started that. They were definitely one of the influences here and there. And that's, of course, is the Dictators with Blood Brothers, the third and final album from the 70's. And definitely was for, I think, quite a long time until the 2000s. But just definitely a bit of a great album. Of course, the Dictators, I definitely do have to spotlight for sure for 70's Hard and Heavy, is that it definitely gave us the guitar player. Gave us a little bit of a nice look into Ross the Boss, who of course was best known for going on to form Manowar. And you're going to get a lot of that sort of feel here and there. You're going to get that sort of classic Manowar style riffing here and there, and though it's definitely not epic or anything. It's definitely more in the lines of just straight up rock and roll. But there is a lot of, let's drink some of that. Anyways, yeah, it's just got that sort of same feel in here and there, especially on the song The Minnesota Strip. It's definitely one of the most hardest and definitely almost slightly heavier tracks off this album. And it definitely shows Ross the Boss's guitar styles and everything. It kind of shows off more of what he's really made of and why he would go on and do Manowar. So with that, just a killer rock and roll album from the 1970s. Definitely very, at times, 70's Hard and Heavy. Of course, being best known for being produced by the guys that put Blue Oyster Cult to power with, of course, the albums such as the debut all the way up to I believe their live album at the time. So with that, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the pics. And so with that, hope you'll enjoy the sample when it ends off. So until then, it's the Thrasher Sam out. See you later. I'm definitely going to be drinking more of this Georgia Peach Coca-Cola. Take care.